Hi Lions, hi Cubs, welcome back. This is our activity video for today. I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and since we have talked about different animals that live in the ocean, we've talked about how deep the ocean goes, where different animals might live, I thought maybe we could make our own little mini ocean in a bottle or in a jar. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do it in this very small little jar. Feel free to do it in a glass, in a water bottle, in a pickle jar. I don't know, what do you have at home to make it work? So find something to do it if you'd like to follow along or just enjoy the video. We want to talk a little bit about how the ocean has lots of layers, and there are three main layers. Um, there are a few more, but the three biggest, main ones for us to know really are the sunlight zone, the twilight zone, and the midnight zone. So in the sunlight zone, the sun can still shine through the water, but as it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, it gets to a point where the sun doesn't reach any further, and then you're coming to the twilight zone. So the twilight zone, you can still see, it still gets a little bit of light from up above in the sunlight zone, but it's getting darker and darker and darker. And as you go farther and farther and deeper below surface, you hit the midnight zone, and the midnight zone is black. Black, black, super dark. This is where a lot of animals have that bioluminescence, if you remember the word that we used the other day talking about the dwarf lantern shark. There's the lanternfish, the angler fishes that have the little hanging light that lights up and they attract other fish and catch them that way. So they have those, they put on like little light shows, and maybe I'll try and find a little video and post it into Bloom so you can see, okay? Now, I thought we would make a little layers of the ocean project. So what I used in this first layer is just some corn syrup to make it kind of sticky and sludgy and thick, so that we can really get a good view of the layers. And I hope you can see it okay. The light's not the best maybe, but it's very dark and very thick seeming. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Dawn dish soap, and it's a little bit different of a blue color, and then I'm going to very carefully add it. I'm going to kind of let it run down the side of the jar, if you can see, and hope that it'll gently, gently, gently add on top, and we'll start to hopefully see some color differentiation here. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little more. I'm starting to see a little bit. It's easier, I think, for me to see it because the light is behind. You can see it there. Can kind of see how the soap is a little different colored, and it's has that different layering effect. Okay, so that's good. So that first dark, thick layer, that's our midnight zone, and that's the darkest layer where the fish and the really deep sea creatures are. Okay, and 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 then the dish soap layer there, now you can really see that layer of dish soap. So that is our twilight zone. Okay, so we have our midnight zone, now we have our twilight zone, and what's the first layer really close to the surface? The sun can shine through it. It's called the sunlight zone. That's right. So we have the sunlight, the twilight, and the midnight. So for my sunlight, I'm going to use some water with a very, very light food coloring in it, blue food coloring. This is actually my second take of this video because the first one, the food coloring was a little too dark and I didn't dilute it enough, and when I poured it in, it just blended into the soap layer that you couldn't see the difference. So, second time's a charm. So what I'm going to do now, this you have to be very careful not to mix your sunlight zone in with the twilight zone. So I'm going to very, very gently add this in and hope that it doesn't mix too much. Because I don't really want it to suddenly get all bubbly and soapy, because that's not what our ocean's all about, right? So very gently, you can see it is swirling up a little bit from the pouring it in. I'll try and move it a little closer so you can see. Ooh, there, a little too fast there. So then, but you can kind of see, I know the light is a little bit tricky to work around here. I'm also working right on top of my laptop and hoping that I don't spill it. So, there we go. Alright, now I have my midnight zone, my twilight zone, and I have the sunlight zone. So, hopefully you can see it fairly well here now. Here's my midnight zone, my twilight zone, and then my sunlight zone. So, if you would like to try and make an ocean in a jar, try making it with some different colors. You will need to have different liquids. Another name for this, or I guess maybe an official name for it, would be that it's a density tower, which means that it shows us that liquids, even though they all pour and they're all liquidy, they have different density. And so that corn syrup is really dense and really thick and really slow, and it's going to sit down here on the bottom, unless I really shake it up, but I don't have a lid, so I'm not going to do that. But maybe if you do it in a bottle, pickle jar, or whatever you have, a baby food jar would be a perfect size, you could shake it up and see if it separates. I'm not sure what would happen. Maybe it would take a long time and then it would. I'm not sure. So, corn syrup, thickest, heaviest, densest liquid here in this little liquid tower, density tower. And then my dish soap, there, my midnight, or my twilight zone, sorry, is a little more dense, or a little less dense than the corn syrup, and then even less is the water. Okay. If you wanted to add extra layers, you could try some oil, because the oil is going to float to the top of the water. And maybe even some like rubbing alcohol or something. I've heard some people have had good success with making density towers using that. I will. Another thing that you could throw in there, if you have a lid for it, is maybe you want to add some seashells, or maybe throw a little bit of sand in the bottom of your ocean. And so anyways, I hope you enjoyed our density tower, our little mini ocean in a jar. If you make one at home, put the lid on it. And please, please, please send me pictures of it, okay? I am loving all the pictures that you guys are sending. You guys are doing such a great job of keeping busy, and everyone's staying positive. I love it. And you're definitely staying involved. It's fantastic. I miss you guys all so much. I am going to read you a little bit of a book, and then I'll sign off for today. All right, I would like to introduce you to Narwhal, Unicorn of the Sea. These are some of my favorite characters. They are so fun. They're so super cute. And I am reading it with permission from Scholastics. And I would like to share narwhals. So there were some questions, remember, throughout our week here about narwhals, and so we're going to learn a little bit more about narwhals here. And so this is Narwhal. Okay, and we're going to read his book today. So chapter 1, Narwhal is really awesome. One day, when Narwhal was out for a swim, he found himself in new waters. Whoa! What are you? Me? I'm a narwhal. The narwhal. A narwhal? Yep. Unicorn of the sea. Are you real? Last time I checked. Are you? Am I what? Real. Yeah. I'm a jellyfish. Jellyfish! That sounds so funny. You've never heard of a jellyfish? Nope, you don't look like any fish I've ever seen, but you sure do look kind of jellyish. I have an amazing imagination. I can't believe this. The thing I'm imagining that it is imagining me. Prove it. Prove what? Prove that you're real. Can you prove that you're real? Sting! That tickles! But it still doesn't prove that you're real. I could be imagining the tickles. You could imagine anything. Yep, pretty much. Look, things like you don't exist. I mean, what is up with that horn? It's actually more of a tusk tooth. Then why is it coming out of your forehead? Because I'm awesome like that? It is pretty awesome. Thanks. Hey, I know what you are. A jellyfish? An imaginary friend! We're friends? Sure thing. Cool. Well, you might not be real, but I think you're a real good friend. Wanna go eat waffles? Sure. Nom 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 nom. Alright, really fun facts about narwhals. A narwhal's long horn-like tooth can reach up to 3 meters or 10 feet long. So think back to that snake that we measured out, half that length. That's about how long their horn, their tusk tooth can get. Narwhals can weigh 3,500 pounds and hold their breath for 25 minutes. I don't think I can last even a minute, but I haven't tried. The record dive depth for a narwhal is 1,800 meters, which is over a mile. Recent research suggests that narwhals can even live up to 90 years. That's almost as old as my grandma. Now, some really fun facts about jellyfish. There are nearly 4,000 types of jellyfish in the world. A group of jellyfish is called a smack or a bloom, like we already learned. Jellyfish have been around for millions of years, even before the dinosaurs. How cool. The sting from a jellyfish is venomous and it can be deadly for some humans, or for humans. The deadly ones are mainly found around Australia. All right, we will learn more about or read more about narwhal in upcoming videos. All right, have a fantastic weekend, Cubs. Have a great weekend, Lions. Narwhal and Jelly say bye. See you next class.